Hello and welcome back to another episode of the Physiology of Endurance Running podcast, Road to Valencia series, 1 week to go. We're nearly there. We've all lost our heads. We're all debating whether we're going to even start or finish this marathon, but I think we will be okay. I think I've got more faith in all the athletes that I've been meeting over the last week than myself at this point in time, despite all the data saying you're fine, Dan. But anyway, how are you doing, Owain and Jen? Owain, how are you doing?
Okay. I feel like I've actually almost been too busy to think about the race. Like for me, the finish line is, I don't know, getting to Valencia on Thursday afternoon at a semi-reasonable time and being able to go for a jog. I think once I'm there, I'll be fine. But yeah, I've had a busy week, so yeah, I don't
Yeah.
know.
And when I felt like I've had a really busy week, but I've still had the marathon anxiety. So I've just got anxiety over everything of trying to fit stuff in, wrapping stuff up before we go, chatting to all the athletes, finishing up other bits of work. I've been in the lab testing. It just feels like it's been a bit crazy.
I had
How are you doing, Jen? Go on.
I had 3 full post-it notes of things I had to do today,
Have you done
just
any of
like
them?
sorting my life out. Yeah, yeah, that's how it's going.
Well, yesterday I thought I was not going to be even boarding the plane to Valencia, to be honest. I was going straight to Palma for my holiday. The marathon was out. I couldn't cope. Heart rate on my runs was way too high. Felt crap. Like slept for like 6 hours last night because I was just thinking about the worst case scenario. But I've actually felt all right today, to be honest. So hopefully the 10 days of hell I've just been through will be worth it on the weekend. And like you, Dan, like all the athletes I coach who are doing it, they are so like the heads are just like glued on. They know what they're doing. They're all calm and collected. And then they're asking me how I'm feeling. I'm trying to like remain confident and positive, but it's just not going well.
I'm super confident. All my guys, I've got 6 people racing. I think it could be a 6 PB job. Like, everyone's in a really good place. Minus Brady, who didn't make the start line, but I light a candle for him and in his memory. But never mind. Owain, do you want to tell us?
Oh God, I was going to say I've got three athletes doing it, and I reckon they're all going to finish within a couple of minutes of each other. So hopefully they can all like have a little reunion at the end.
Owain, do you want to tell us about SOAR?
Yeah. So there is how many days? 5. Well, no, 4 when this releases days to enter our competition. We'll smash it on the socials, I think, this week, just to get as many people in as possible. But yeah, all we need is your email address, and then you could win £250 of SOAR, SOAR gift card for £250, which we would put to good use, I think. We're all kitted out in SOAR for the race. Apart from Dan, I think. Apart from his top.
I'm half SOAR still.
As much as possible.
You saw me doing my little what was it, catwalk of my kit drop earlier, so I'm quite excited to put it on the day.
One arm sleeve, wasn't it? Is that going to be the look?
Well, the problem was the one had the label on and couldn't quite get it up the arm, so I just went with the one arm sleeve look. But I'm, maybe I should dig it. Maybe that should be the fit for the day.
If you see someone with
put a poll on the Instagram, see what the listeners think.
Well, yeah, one arm sleeve wouldn't fly, especially at like a cross country. Imagine showing up at.
It's a bit of a sprinter look, isn't it? One arm sleeve, that sort of thing you do.
I don't think I could bring myself to do it. It would require me to run like a 2:10 marathon. I don't think that's ever going to happen.
So yeah, if you want some SOAR gear, if you want to buy 2 SOAR arm warmers and then only wear one, enter our competition. It'll be on our socials. It's in the show notes. As always, we're super grateful for SOAR supporting us. Like, I got a long sleeve and I've been wearing it loads. Like my merino top as well. Jen, you and your merino top last week.
I was wearing that for my session last week. It was like perfect, like because it was that really cold day, but I didn't want like a really heavy layer on. Yeah, it did the job ideally. It was so good.
My problem is now I'm so acclimatized to SOAR and accustomed to SOAR that back at Cardiff 10K, I came second. Won, like, as part of my prize, I got a £30 voucher for Scimitar, I was like, oh, okay, right. It's been hanging around on my desk for ages. I'm going to go and buy a scimitar vest. And it arrived. It looks pretty good, to be fair. And I picked it up, got it out of the packet. I was like, where's the tag for this vest? Where is it? Like, I can't find it. There wasn't a tag. It just weighs like 100 grams more than a SOAR vest. I was just convinced that I just couldn't find this massive chunky label, and it just doesn't exist. It's just like just so heavy, like noticeably in my hands. I could feel that there was something there, not like a SOAR vest where you're like you could lose it.
Yeah.
You need to calculate the difference in the vest that you're wearing on Sunday and a SOAR vest.
Oh, I tell you what, mine is going to hold a lot of water, and I'm going to be throwing so much water over myself. I'll be a kilo heavier by the end.
So watch out for Dan weighed down with a wet vest, Jen with one arm sleeve.
What are you going for, Owain?
I don't know. We'll have to figure out. I might wear. Should I wear a t-shirt? I'll do my normal.
Yeah. Get your long sleeve on.
Yeah. I think you could race in it. It feels that good.
Perhaps not in the conditions that Valencia are going to pose, though.
Oh, and the heat wave.
The heat wave.
It's not a heat wave. It's not a heat wave.
No.
The group chats have been
maybe
blowing
slightly
up.
milder than you'd want, but yeah.
Every group chat except our group chat, because I banned weather talk on
like
Monday.
6 a.m. text on Monday morning. We cannot talk about the weather.
It was after my mum messaged me saying, "Have you seen the weather?" And I was
Yeah,
like, "I don't need to see this anymore."
My mum
Thanks,
texted me
Mum.
saying, "Pack your sunglasses and your sun cream. It's going to be hot." A smiley face.
Great.
Yeah. No. It'll be 5 degrees by the time we get there. Forecast will change. And we're only moaning about it because it's not like a Valencia perfect 10 degrees day. It might actually start at 12 and get a little warmer. It's not like it's not going to be like London or Berlin, which was like 20 degrees at the start and 24 at the end or whatever it was.
And even
it's
if
pretty good.
Even if it was, I think we're all smart enough to adjust. Whereas we wouldn't have set, like, none of us have set an arbitrary goal that we set back in July that we're then gonna just go for regardless, and then blame the heat afterwards.
Yeah.
Like,
no, you got to just.
You haven't
race
heard
the
my plan yet.
conditions
It's 209.30 or bust. Did you know? Should we get to some trading talk?
Yeah. Although, do we want a tiny bit of housekeeping before? We're going to be recording at least a day late next week for the post-race episode.
Sorry, guys.
Yeah, Jen is. Well, no, I think actually it's me and Dan, because we're both traveling back on Tuesday.
I'll be in a bar somewhere in Parma by then.
Yeah, so we're going to record Wednesday night. Jen's going to be in some sort of Irish bar in Parma. Me and Dan will be back to reality in South Wales. But we were saying we're gonna do a like post-race episode, and then the week after we'll do like a training block breakdown, because I think apart from anything, we realized if we try and do both of them in the same episode, it will last about 4 hours. So maybe we won't treat you to that. We'll split them up a bit, but yeah, just some. So if next Wednesday you don't see an episode, that is why.
It's on its way, though.
Yeah.
It'll be on its way. And we're also going to finish this episode with our own predictions of how the other two are going to do. So we've all done voice notes predicting, well, I predicted how Jen and Owain were going to fare, but they haven't heard the voice note. So are you guys going to listen to it afterwards? Like before you start the race, or are you just going to leave it there on silence?
Right before we start.
I might listen to it as I'm warming up, actually.
Yeah, so hang around at the end to listen to honest predictions of how we're all going to fare.
If you hear that Jen and Dan have fallen out in the car park under the...
I can't believe you said that.
But yeah, that'll be at the end. You'll hear each of us recording a voice note. You get a taste of what it's like in the group chat.
Savage at some point.
And just
that's
the voice
mainly
notes
me,
back
to be
and forth.
fair. Yeah.
Yeah.
Love a voice note. Jen, then 24th of November. Do you want to kick us off? Great title for your first run of a week.
Ugh. Aptly titled, ugh. This was the day one of the taper. Just a regular Monday morning, really. But I felt pretty horrendous, and this was the theme of the week. I had been warned about this, that I wasn't going to feel great, but I just didn't expect it to be on day one. But yeah, just a 45-minute easy run, heart rate suspiciously high, 149, but got it done. Didn't feel great. Dave, I think, was away, so I texted him whilst I was whilst I was walking back to the flat, be like, don't know what's gone wrong, I feel awful. He was like, calm down, Jen, which has also been a theme for the week. But that was Monday morning. Took Monday afternoon off, actually, so just did one run on the Monday morning. So yeah, a really official start of the taper. And then rested Monday night. Tuesday morning I fared no better. This was titled not to be dramatic, but I feel like shit. And another 45-minute run. Again, just not feeling great, and I think it's probably in my head, but didn't feel great. Had a bit of motivational input on the Strava comments. Smile and remember the hard work you have done, from Mary. Jill told me the taper was coming for me, so just setting myself up for the week, really. But that was a 45-minute run in the morning. Did some strides afterwards with the hope that they would make me feel a little bit better. They didn't. And then I went out again in the afternoon for an easy 30-minute run. My heart rate was high again. That's been another theme for the week, just really high heart rate. But I think my problem is that once I start looking at it every 5 seconds, it just rises anyway. So I've tried to stop looking at it now. Wednesday, kept the routine of the week the same. So Wednesday I did a session, but it was just like a really short one. It was 10 minutes at around what I'm going to go out at in the marathon pace wise, plus 8 by 2 minutes, all off 60-second jog. So the 10 minutes was at, I think it was 5:38, and then the 2 minutes were to be run between sort of 10k and half marathon effort. I did get a little bit carried away towards the end. I think I was touching a 5:04 miling for the last 2-minute rep, but I felt actually all right doing these, compared to how I felt doing the easy running to then doing a session. It's worlds apart, which is actually gave me a little bit of confidence, because I'm like, well, I can still execute the sessions absolutely fine, so I think I'm okay.
And your jogging recovery is pretty steady as well, weren't you? A minute at 6:30 a mile, 4:05 a k in between.
Yeah, so I just kept I wanted to keep it honest. To be honest, I wanted to just my theory was that if I jog a little bit quicker between the 2 minutes, it's going to stop me completely hammering them to the point where I'm at VO2 max, right in a bucket, racing them at 3k effort. So I thought if I can keep a steady jog in between, it might calm me down a little bit.
I mean, you did 6 miles at marathon pace, didn't you?
Yeah, pretty much. Pace. Yeah. And my heart rate, I think, averaged 178, which was a beat higher than the 177 I had been getting, which did raise a few eyebrows. Tim did note it, but I remained calm in this instance and just hope for the best come race day. But 6 miles, 5:39 average for the session, and then went out again in the afternoon just for an easy 30 minutes before going to physio. So that was an early double, but it didn't really make much difference after just 6 mile session. Felt so short. It was I was done. The whole thing took me an hour and a half, including the warm up and the faffing around. So yeah, that was Wednesday. Thursday, obviously didn't start well. This was an hour. I didn't even make it to an hour. It was meant to be an hour's run, but I did 58 minutes and 51 seconds, and titled this run, "How the hell am I meant to run a marathon next weekend?" Didn't feel great doing this, but again, I think that's just in my head more than anything else. I think my heart rate's just been a bit high, so I've been a bit just obsessing about that when I probably don't really need to.
That is something that happens when you freshen up a little bit. Your heart rate often does go a bit higher.
Literally, Yeah,
Have you
it's
heard
happened
about
to
Jake Smith and
me.
his heart rate? Like he's always going on about this. Oh, like if you're a bit fatigued, your heart rate's suppressed. You can't get a high heart rate.
Yeah,
If you're a bit fresher, your sympathetic nervous system, your adrenaline is ready to go, and your heart rate is a bit higher.
yeah.
Like
Which is like, and you know
just turn
what?
off the screen, Jen. Just turn off the screen.
It's what I would tell everybody else, but when I'm trying to process it myself, I find it really hard. I'm like, it's just not normal. This is not okay. I was also running like probably like 10 seconds a mile quicker than I have done any of my easy runs for the last 16 weeks. So to be fair, it's like, what do I expect really? But by the afternoon, I'd convinced myself that I need a new heart rate monitor. So I went out on my afternoon run, and then I just wrote in the notes, need a new monitor. So I ordered myself a new one in the Black Friday sale. Is that like peak Maranoia? I think I have reached peak Maranoia here. But yeah, went out on Friday. Must have been Thursday? Yeah, Thursday afternoon, just for an easy half an hour. And then again, Friday morning, easy 45 minutes with DAF and Disco, which was actually quite nice. Can't remember how I was feeling this day, didn't note it down, so it can't have been too bad. Followed that up with a gym session, still trying to get that was my last one of the block, got it done. 33 minutes, so it's gone from starting at around about an hour to down to 33 minutes over the period of the block, but in and out, got it done. Took the afternoon off on that day as well before a Saturday session, which I have not done one of these in I don't know how many months. But I just went, Dave was away, so he had the car. So instead of, usually we like park our car like by where we start our warm up, didn't have that. So I just went out in my shoes, in my like racing flats, and managed to warm up at a very enthusiastic 6:56 a mile.
So when you're doing your sessions, you go and drive your car about 30 meters from
100
your
meters,
house.
yeah. Park
on
it
long
over the other
runs.
side, and on long runs. But to be fair to us, our car's hybrid, and we don't have a place to charge it at home because obviously we live in a flat. So we plug it in whilst we do our sessions.
I suppose
And
that's just about forgivable.
that means we can like store our kit in the car, warm up, store our kit in the car, and then start the session, whether it's in the park or on the bike path. It's quite, I think it's quite a legit setup.
I think if you lived in a ground floor flat, I'd be like, oh, just go back to your flat, but you don't.
Yeah, and we do live like quite a lot of stairs up.
Yeah.
It's like a bit of an effort.
It would just be 10 minutes between everything, and then like
Yeah.
it would open up so much scope to faff between.
Oh, yeah, I already faff
That's-
like just by the car.
That's why you just put your super shoes on, warm up in your super shoes, and just do the session. Surely that's what you're doing, Owain, when you're going out in Butte Park. You're not
Yeah.
you're not taking a pair of shoes, are you?
No. I know some people would chuck a pair of shoes in the bush, wouldn't they?
I do that as well. So I've had my bag nicked from the bush in the park a few times, and I just can't risk my my shoes getting nicked.
People know where the bench is in the park.
Yeah, they know where the bench is. So, but this morning I did have to warm up in my super shoes from home, hence the extremely quick warm up. But I, survived and advanced. It was only a short session. It was 4 by a K off 60 seconds, and then 5 by 400 off 45. Dave rang me actually on his trip to Devon, telling me, you can run a bit quicker than you have done. Aim for I think he said 3:22 a K for the 1Ks, which is basically where my altitude 2 is. And then a little bit faster for the 400s. We debated 30 seconds rest to keep them slightly more controlled, but I opted I bargained with him, and I got 45 seconds rest just to open it up a little bit. But really struggled to actually judge the pace for these, and it wasn't intentional either. Sometimes I just don't listen to him, ignore him, and I just go quicker because that's what I want to do. But actually for this session, I found judging the pace really hard. The first one absolutely nailed it, 3:22, and then the next one was 3:18, then the next one was 3:21, then 3:20. So I wasn't too bad on the on the Ks. They actually felt pretty good for kind of moving a bit faster. Like mechanically, felt really good doing it. Felt really. I just felt like I was breathing really heavy. Like the heart rate wouldn't suggest that I was running them too hard, but it just felt like I was touching like something that I hadn't like done a lot of recently, which is pretty reflective of the marathon training, I guess. Like we haven't touched much LT2 sort of stuff. Just felt like I was breathing a bit harder, but it was all under control. And then this is where the pacing for the 400s got a bit bad. Dave suggested sort of 77s to 78s. First one, 77. Then I went 74, 74, 72. Knew at this point I was going to be in trouble. So I made a conscious effort to run the last one at 77. But again, yeah, felt pretty good doing these. Some guy tried to start a conversation with me with like 40 seconds into my recovery, asking me like how far I was running and what I was doing. And I was like, I'm sorry, I've got like 5 seconds. I cannot talk right now. I just like ran away from him. Felt really rude. So I'm sorry. But yeah, all in all, it went a lot better than I thought it was going to do, kind of off how I was feeling. I'd been having like a bit of an annoying sort of left hip groin adductor situation. But once I'm running a bit faster, it's definitely not as bad as when I'm jogging. And also, I think I've magnified the problem a bit in my head as well. So I don't think it's as bad as it is. I think it's probably just something very minor that I've now built up to be something really bad, but it hasn't seemed to affect anything that I've done. So it can't be that serious.
That's just for taper. That's just for taper madness.
I think it's just the taper madness. Did a cool down, then took the afternoon off. And then on Sunday morning, went out with Dave for a 75-minute run, titled this run Maranoia, and then wrote, haven't just spent 30 minutes reading threads how to make myself feel better about a high heart rate, and the feeling of this being like a threshold run, which it did. Felt awful. I think I stopped. I had like 3 walk breaks in this. I think the elapsed time was about 8 minutes. I was like, I'm so over it at this point. Like, what's the point? I can't even run for 10 miles. I honestly feel so sorry for Dave. I even like apologized to him like 3 times in this run, because I was like, this bloke's like also training for a marathon, also like worked his ass off, and then I'm here like just moaning, complaining, being the most miserable person you could come across. And he's like, you know, trying to remain as positive and kind as possible, and I'm just being an absolute bitch. But
he can't wait for Valencia to be done just so you stop moaning about it.
Literally. I do feel sorry for him, but you know, this is what he signed up for when we got married, so he knew what he was playing with. So that was my week, just 68 miles. So it was a reduction from, I did 105 the week before, 68 the last week. So what's that? 60, 70, 80, 90, 100. It's nearly like 40 miles less, I guess. So yeah, I mean, I can take a bit of confidence from the sessions, but everything else has felt pretty terrible. But hopefully that just means I'm going to be ready to go on the weekend.
What was the thinking with 2 sessions?
I'm very much like to keep a similar pattern to what I've been doing, and that's been 2 sessions if you include like the long run session a week. So that's basically the only reasoning behind it. Just do two sessions because of that. I like to keep the same with the doubles. Like I don't necessarily need to go out and do double runs in the evening, but I like to keep the frequency the same and the routine, and just to keep me a little bit more calm and composed, I think.
Not have
something to do, isn't it, Jen? Yeah. Something to do. Something to do. It's like I can go out and like prove to myself that I can still run faster than an easy run pace. So yeah, that's pretty much the thinking behind it. Nothing deeper than that, really. So yeah. Nice. Yeah, sounds like a really enjoyable week.
You would not have wanted to be in our flat this week. Multiple breakdowns.
The group chat was quieter.
I had no like positive energy to put into it, and I thought I can't bring Dave down and then both of you as well. That's just not fair.
There was a point on the weekend where I was just speaking into the ether. I was like, no one's here.
Yeah.
I was like, the wheels have fallen off.
This is it. Head's gone. Game's gone.
Yeah, it's great, isn't it? It's great fun. It's great fun with Taper. All right, Owain, what have you been up to?
Yeah, hope your week's been better.
Yeah, I think so. Yeah, same as always on the Monday morning. So just an hour easy. Yeah, 4:47 a k. Same again on Tuesday, hour easy, 4:49 a k. I think yeah, I don't think anything notable happened in either of those. And then Wednesday, I bought my session forward a day. I bought my longer run forward a day. Just I sort of felt like it gives me another day to freshen up before the race. And then I didn't have my my normal reasoning of we're recording the podcast, so then I want Wednesday morning off because we recorded on Wednesday night as well. So either day was going to be an early start or a late finish the night before. So yeah, on Wednesday I just did 3 by 15 minutes. I just wanted like 40 to 45 minutes worth of steady running. I think maybe this is where Jen definitely, and maybe Dan, like I think you like maybe going a little bit faster or like shorter reps at this point, even if it's maybe still the same like metabolic cost in terms of you're not really going above threshold and you've got short recoveries, whereas I'm just happy to plod away for 15 minutes, just sort of turn off my brain and just run. Yeah, so yeah, again, early start. It was dark when I started, as always. I sort of, in my head, I was like, oh, it'd be really good if it was light. And then it wasn't. It was really cold on Wednesday morning, wasn't it? That was the really cold.
It was freezing. Yeah, freezing. And it must like that, and it was cold in the sun, so in the dark it must have been bitter.
Yeah, and it was to the point where I was warming up and like my heart rate was a bit high, and I was genuinely like, it was almost like a bit of cold shock, like stepping outside. Like it was just really, really good. There was like ice and stuff, and yeah, so almost not ideal in terms of the weather. But yeah, so first 15 minutes was 3:40 a k, and I had my watch buzzing at like 168 for the heart rate, and then actually the same for the second one, 168, and that was 3:41 a k. I'm putting that 1 second entirely down to the corner by Blackway Bridge in Pontcanna Fields because it was so icy and muddy.
Oh yeah.
I basically had to walk around that corner. Also, someone set themselves up with their dog right on like the apex.
We love that.
Yeah, perfect. I wasn't enjoying it. It was feeling fine, but I was a bit like just bored. And I was a bit like, why have you stood there of all the places? And then the last 15 minutes, 3:34k, I let my heart rate sort of go a bit for this one. It's still plenty under LT2. But yeah, 3:34 for the heart rate. Like really happy with that. Like you know, back in September, like if I ran 15 minutes at 172 BPM at 3:34k, like I would be really happy. And I was in the Zebra Mizunos, so yeah, like that's almost.
Why are you mucking around with your Zebra Mizunos? You've got so many better options.
It's so like it's so, I don't know what the right word is, but like I don't want to use the nice new shoes now. Like I'd rather just put them on in the race. So I don't know if like sandbagging.
You've worn them though, haven't you?
Yeah,
you've worn. Yeah.
So I've worn the Skies for the half and the Rose-In session.
Yeah.
And then I have a Box Fresh pair that I wore this morning. I just did some like really long strides out in the road just to make sure the sizing's right and they feel the same, and they do. So yeah.
So why didn't you wear your old pair for this session?
I don't know. I just don't, because I think they feel so much better than like even a couple of year old super shoe that I'm like, I just rather just on the start line in Valencia be like, these feel amazing.
Oh, see, I'm the opposite. I'm like, I want to get everything I can out of this session. I'm going to max out everything.
Especially in the confidence boost in those last couple of weeks.
Yeah. then for me, it's like, well, I ran 340 a K with like 166 average heart rate in the Mizunos, and that rep was in the dark. Like, and with some ice and stuff, like, what does that equate on a nice Valencian road in the better shoes?
Oh, absolutely.
Like,
But what if you'd gone out and it had been 350k?
then
You
it
wouldn't
would have
have been
been.
thinking
It
the
is what
same,
it
would
is.
you?
It is the heart rate doesn't lie.
You're too
Yeah,
cool,
no.
calm, and collected for me. I'm not sure.
I don't know. I just like, yeah. I just like, it is what it is. Yeah. Like, I guess not like, obviously you guys have probably actually raced probably more than me. Maybe it's the same amount with like the faux races, but like this year, but I've sort of like, I've gone through this twice this year with like Barry and the 100k. So I'm just like, I know that I'm going to feel rubbish. So I just let it not really worry me. I think also because I pack it in so much in the morning, I can't really think about it.
You've
Like,
got no time to think about it.
I don't think I uploaded this to Strava until like 10:30. So that's like 3.5 hours of like, jogging home, commuting to work, and then like work and whatever sort of comes at me in the first half hour of work. Yeah, so I'm just like, oh, okay, yeah, cool. It is what it is, sort of thing. Yeah, but no, I think it was an alright session. I wasn't super into it. I had 90 grams of carbs, like, yeah, just
For fun. Just for fun.
just again, I sort of thought I'll just try to get through these. Yeah, I think also it's like I'd rather take more carbs at this point than too little. So, yeah, I sort of figured if you don't take enough, then you're just going to feel rubbish, or even more rubbish than normal. So, yeah, and then Thursday again, hour easy, 444 a K. Friday, hour easy, 446 a K. Yeah, just put on a podcast and just plod away. Sunday, Saturday, I found doing like a slightly it's not a long run, like I'm not going to call it a long run, but slightly longer than your sort of normal easy run works quite well for me. I have found in the past I normally run this one like fairly steady, like I would get up to like LT1, but I think after the weekend before with that sort of progression run thing that we did, I
The
was just like,
unstructured training.
yeah, the unstructured training. I wasn't really feeling it. And yeah, this one just felt like it dragged. It was also really windy on Saturday, and I was just running into the headwind for like the first. I was going to go around the bay, and then I looked where the wind was coming from, and I was like, I'm going to run the whole second half into the wind if I do that. So I was like, okay, I'll just go up the TAF. Did the first half into the wind and was fed up. Yeah, so it was just an hour and 20 minutes, like just easy again. Yeah, it didn't at this point. I actually didn't feel particularly good, but I think it's just I don't know. Like I'm just bored. I just want to be sort of done. Yeah, and then Sunday morning, back in the old end, and just did again just an hour easy. This was quite nice actually because I was seeing like where I used to live, where I went to school and stuff. So yeah, I quite enjoyed this because the route is different. I guess maybe I should mix up my routes a bit more, but yeah.
I mean, you do the same route every day.
I've done the same route 5 times this week. Yeah, but no. So it ended up being, was it 96k, 7.5 hours? Yeah, felt like a fine week. Like there was nothing particularly amazing, but I don't expect that. Like just sort of, it's sort of like you're not quite completely tapering, but you're lowering the volume. Yeah, so I think an okay week. Yeah, nothing major to report, I guess.
That's a
I
good
was
place
surprised
to
you
be.
didn't do some sort of intensity in the long on the Saturday or Sunday. To be honest, I mean, if that was to make you feel, at this point, it is just what makes you feel good, isn't it? But otherwise, you're going to go a bit of time without hitting some sort of stimulus, aren't you? I guess you're not going to do anything until midweek,
Yeah,
the
so
week of a race.
I did a session today on the Tuesday. But I don't know. Maybe I'm taking it too far, but I'm just very much in that mindset of like, will doing more make me feel better on the start line, and I don't think it will. So I'm just sort of withdraw a lot of the intensity. I did think about doing some in the long run, but to be honest, I was just like, I just had my heavy shoes on and just, I think it was windy. I think it was raining a bit as well. I was just like, I just really can't be bothered with, like even just trying to think about what I would do. And then I was just like, I'm just going to overthink whatever I do. And then I'm going to be like, well, shall I chuck on super shoes? And then I don't know, then it becomes something quite big. We had quite a busy day on the Saturday. We then like drove to Blenheim Palace to go to a light show, and I knew I was going to be on my feet the entire day. So I was like, I'd rather do a lot less, or less than I maybe could, knowing that I wasn't going to sit in the house all day and be able to just sort of relax as well. And I thought I might be getting like a fairly late light on the Saturday night, so it's like if it's a little bit less, it is then it's fine, but. Yeah, I don't know. There's not a right answer, is there? Like,
it's so. I think it is actually so individual as well as to like what you want to do, what gives you confidence. I think like at this point, like you're not changing like your fitness very like at all, but like your mindset can change.
Yeah, I'm very much like anything after like I don't know 2 weeks before the race. I'm just like it's not going to make me fitter. It's only going to make the race potentially worse if you're fatigued. So. Yeah,
I find like if I end up jogging for too many days, even in normal training week, then I start to feel like really stale. So I think that's like for me, that's why I would definitely do 2 in a week.
Yeah, there's definitely that as well, I guess. I don't know then, but for me, like I would be like I'd want to run closer to like what race pace would be, but then again, I'm sort of like that's doesn't feel particularly useful physiologically, and I'm just going to be looking at my heart rate and be like, oh, my heart rate's really high. So I don't know, maybe it's a bit of like mental protection, I guess, as well.
And the session that you did do was quite big volume, like, considering it was taper. Like you had 45 minutes of work, which is, it's not nothing, is it? That's
that's
I know
probably
you're not thrashing it, but you're still going at a decent pace.
Yeah, that's probably not far from how much you did, right, Jen? Like in terms of your two
in
sessions.
terms of like my 2 sessions, yeah, because I did maybe like 6, 7, 8 and a half, 9 miles total, split over a week, and that includes like jogging recovery. So actual intensity wise, probably like bang on the same.
Yeah. So I just do it all in one, and I sort of find like I do it in one day, and then I finish, and I'm really conscious like. Yeah, eat something when I get home, eat plenty when I get to work, like have loads through the day and just sort of like confine it to one day. Not that I'm not doing that during the week anyway. But yeah, really consciously doing those things. I find it sort of easier to do on one day. It's just my thought as well about how I structure it. Yeah. 7.5 hours, I think. So sort of stepped it down, and then it comes down a lot this week.
Nice. I'll go with my week then. So 24th November, right? An hour in the morning. Christian Ulrichsen is demanding my hit list after talking about it on the Inside Running podcast, which may or may not come out, the hit list. I might just keep it up in my own head, I think. But yeah, hour easy. At this point, I was not having Maranoia. I was feeling pretty good, 4:12 a and then doubled in the evening. This week, I was trying to knock everything back by 20%. I was taking that quite literally, and I was just taking 20% off every run. So instead of 75 minutes, I did 60 minutes in the morning, and then instead of 50 minutes in the afternoon, I did 40 minutes. So I was in some Joma shoes because Welsh Athletics their kit sponsor is Joma, and they've been given some super shoes to test out, and I've been given that job of testing them out, which we'll get to for the Tuesday. But I thought I'd take them for a spin for the jog in the afternoon, 40 minutes, 4:11 Felt very average for shoes. Felt like I wouldn't choose to wear them again, and I'm not sure if I will wear them again, but we'll get to that. for Tuesday. So Tuesday, I'd been tasked with measuring the running economy of these Joma shoes and comparing it against the Lura Super shoes, which I was going to take full advantage of. So went to Sport Wales, did 10 by 4 minutes on the treadmill at 19 kilometers an hour, hooked up to the metabolic cart, and basically rotated through the shoes each time. So I had all the ASICS range, Sky, Edge, and Ray, plus the Puma Fast R3s, plus these R1000 Joma shoes. And honestly, this was the first session of the whole block where I felt awful. And I don't know if it was never running on the Sport Wales treadmill before, or if it was just that it was hot. The ventilation isn't so good down there. If I was just, I know, a bit fatigued from the last week of training. Like the last session I'd done had been about 4x4 mile for mile steady, which I'd been super happy with, but maybe I was still fatigued. But I had to psychologically battle to get my way through this session. And if it hadn't been for the fact that I needed to complete the 10 by 4 minutes in order to get all the shoe testing done, I would have bailed. But it did help me decide what shoe I was ultimately going to wear on race day, which is what I've been dilemmaing over for the last 2 weeks.
A long time.
But I wish I had just got in the lab earlier and done this, because it was super helpful. And now I've lost my data to talk through. I can't find it on my phone, so bear with me a second. Where have we gone?
It'll be in the group chat if you can't find it.
Is it in our WhatsApp?
It will be in the group chat. I've got it. But you've found it. I haven't found it.
Yeah.
Media. This is going to be a spoiler as well.
Yeah.
Got it.
Can't believe you sent that,
yeah. Oh my god.
So yeah, compared oxygen consumption, 19 kilometers an hour in each of the shoes, and annoyingly, the Pumas came out the best. So my economy, I was 64.5 mil per kilogram per minute at 19 kilometers an hour in the Fast R3s, and I'd already ruled this one out as a race day shoe based upon those longer sessions that I tried in it. It was just really stressing, like my calves, hamstrings at the back end, and it would be a massive risk to run a marathon in that for me. I think if I did a month of doing sessions in it, I'd probably get the conditioning needed to run a marathon, but too late at this time. And I still think even then, it is a risk which I don't think I'm suited for. I think it very much depends probably on your mechanics and your conditioning level and stuff. But for me, I'd already ruled it out. So that basically left the ASIC shoes. And I was surprised by this. The Sky came out second best after the Pumas. So Sky's was 65.1, Edge was next in 65.3, and Ray was last in 65.4 mil per kilogram per minute. But yeah, how that actually equate, because that's such an arbitrary number, doesn't mean anything to anybody, but then you can calculate what the effective time difference would be, and this is where it gets exciting. So Pumas were the best. The Skies were the equivalent of 1.6 seconds a K slower than the Puma Fast R3s, which does add up over a marathon. But at the same time, I might be more economical for 30k in the Pumas and then walk the last 10k, in which case that free economy was for nothing. So Skies, 1.6 seconds a K slower. The Edges were 2.4 seconds a K slower than the Pumas, and the Rays were 2.5 seconds a K. So basically the Edge and the Ray came out identical. Skies were 0.8 of a second better. And then the Joma was 6.3 seconds a K slower than the Pumas. So my recommendation to Welsh Athletics is don't have anything to do with the super shoes, because they are in no way super. So that was nice, in that I've decided what I'm going to wear for race day. I'm going to wear the Skies, which wasn't in my list of shoes, to be honest. I thought I was going to be in the Rays until last week. But what is nice is that now I can go, well, that fantastic best session of my life I did to end the training block of the 4x4 miles. Oh, well, I can run that 0.8 of a second quicker now per K if I just put on my skies, in theory. So yeah, skies it is. So that was some good data from that. I'll share that with everybody, or Jenny can share that with everybody on Instagram.
I'll release it to the fans.
Release it to the fans. And you can go and eyeball all that. So that was Tuesday morning, and then in the afternoon, I wanted to keep that same rhythm of doing something a bit more controlled in the morning and still doing a bit of intensity in the afternoon. Opted for some 400s, and I got a bit excited here. I'll admit, I did 10 by 400s off 30, ran the first one in something like 71, and then should have just kept it at 71s really, but then just got rolling, ran at 69s for most of them, and then the last few picked it up a little bit more, 68s, 68, 67 for the last one, but felt good. Heart rate was fine. Like heart rate was barely, what did I peak at? 168 for about 67 at the end, 7-second ones at the end. Yeah. But it was cold, wasn't it? It was cold that day. And I was going up and down the canal. Conditions were pretty good, but it was like touch and go whether I was going to get it done in the light. And there was this old man walking a dog, and I've gone up and down past him like 4 times, and then I've got like 1 rep to go, and I think he starts talking to me, and I go, like, in the 30 seconds recovery, just a bit like you, Jen. I'm going, I think, well, firstly, I think he's going to have a go at me. I go, he's going to say, what you doing running up and down the canal? This is a dog walkers. But no, he starts talking to me, and I recognize him. I go, you're the super friendly guy who always would come up to me and Nye when we're walking on the canal, and he'd get Nye to pat the dog. So I was like, no, he's a nice guy. And he goes, I used to be a bit of a handy runner back in my day. You're moving, which you know is always going to go well, don't you? And he goes, yeah, you need to get a bit much. You're a bit flat-footed. You need to get up on your heels a bit more. I'm like, all right, okay, thanks. I start my rep, and I'm processing this as I'm running this 67-second last lap, saying, does he mean I need to get up on my toes, or does he generally think I need to heel strike more because I'm a heel striker? But anyway, he didn't ever go at me. Super nice guy, and he was giving me encouragement and critiquing me, which is nice. Keep me accountable. Don't rest on your laurels and all that. But that was that I was smiling through the last 6-7 rep of that, just thinking about this chappy here. He's probably in his 70s, walking his dog along, and thinking I need to get up on my heels a bit more. So that was that entertained me. So that was Tuesday. My Strava's being slow here. Wednesday then, trying to keep that same pattern of frequency of runs. Where have we gone? I'm struggling here today. Struggling here with the technology. Wednesday, hour easy, 4:22 a K. And now I'm starting to feel naff, just because it's the taper, isn't it? It's kicked in. I thought I'd got away with it, but we recorded that Tuesday night, and I was pretty happy, pretty upbeat. Wednesday came, and I'm starting to feel a bit sluggish. Hour 4:22s in the morning, 40 minutes, 4:16 a K in the afternoon. And then Thursday, I was by Wednesday afternoon, I was feeling pretty rough. I nearly didn't run, but I did. Thursday morning, I woke up feeling even worse. I was completely prepared to just go out and do 30 minutes if I didn't feel that good, but I got going, had a podcast on, and just didn't look at the watch, and ran and ended up convincing myself to go a bit longer. So I did 90 minutes, which is still it's quite a decent length run, but then this is still about 20% less than I was doing for my Thursdays before. 4:23 a K. Got through it, but felt pretty rubbish. I think by this point, Jemima knows that she didn't need to know that race week was 9 days away, because my mood was just bad. I was being grumpy. So apologies, Jemima, for being in a mood. I'd already got book testing in the lab booked in with Mike Hughes, my old PhD supervisor and line manager, on the Friday. And at this point, I'm thinking, do I do it? I'm feeling pretty rubbish. I'm dosed up on paracetamol. I've got no specific symptoms. I just feel like bad. I've got maybe I've got a little bit of a sore throat, but I've got no runny nose. I'm just a bit down. And anyway, Friday, wake up, feeling a bit better. I go full current to this one, so I'm 4 tablets deep, thinking, but this is my stat. I'd like to get in the lab before every marathon, and I did it on exactly the same day going into Valencia last year, so I wanted to repeat this. And I think you can approach the lab testing like 2 ways. You can go, right, how fit am I relative to where I was before? Or you can take the approach that I did for this and just go, right, I'm throwing everything at this to like I would do on the race day, to make it to really honestly reflect what shape or like fitness I'm capable of on the day. So I've put on my race day shoes, the Metsby Tokyo Skies. I've gone my full currents protocol of like two every day, and the day leading in the week leading up, and then 4 in the morning, 3 hours before. And I've gone caffeine as well, so I'm on the caffeine gum going into it, and I came in with low expectations, and it was the best test I've ever done, which is exactly what you want, isn't it? Like dream scenario, like great test. So we did 5-minute stages. I basically repeated exactly what I did last year. So 5-minute stages, started at 16k an hour, went 16, 17, 18, 18 and a half, 19, 19 and a half, 20, 20 and a half, 21k an hour, 1% grade on my lab treadmill, hooked up to a metabolic cart, and having some nice students take some lactates on me in between. And just came out better than ever. Like, I think heart rates were very similar until we got to the last few stages, where I was a couple of beats lower this time round, but then the lactates were just more controlled, especially when we got up to those faster speeds. I think the year before I was at 6 millimole by the 21k an hour stage, and I vividly remember just having to work really hard to get through that. Not quite a 10 out of 10, but like a solid 9.5. Whereas this time lactate was 4 millimole, and we debated about doing another stage because it hadn't really spiked, to be honest. I would have said I put the RP down as an 8.5 and felt like, I could have done a 21.5, maybe a 22. The only downside was that the metabolic cart crashed after 4 stages, which is, I don't know. I don't know why. It doesn't do that very often. It might have just been too cold in the lab, but exactly the same thing happened last year, which is just weird. As in, I got 4 stages in and then it crashed, and it happened again, which is a little bit frustrating because both times have been the best test we've ever done, and I've only got half a test worth of gas data. But the economy was really good, which is, for me, always been a bit of a weakness. In terms of my VO2 max is always great. It's about 80 mil per kilogram per minute pretty consistently. My thresholds normally occur at pretty high percentages of VO2 max, but then my economy is all right. But it was down in below 190s to start with, and even at the faster speeds, which is typically where I get worse, I'm still under 200 mil per kilogram per kilometer, which is what I see as like the anything under 200 is getting pretty good. So I still, and for me, that's normally where it all falls apart. Getting anywhere over 19k an hour, and I'm 200, 205, 210, 220. Whereas, 198 on that last stage before the metabolic cart crashed. And I mean, from it, this is where you start playing the games and like, what data do you look at? Where I'm better than last year, but how much better? And I think it's ballpark 0.4, 0.5 kilometers an hour better, which is tantalizingly close to 209.30. I think, though, I'm going to end up, depending on the conditions and all the carrots in the day, I'm at 210 range. But again, just another data point to go, you're better than last year, and things are going really nicely. So I took a lot of confidence from that in a week where I didn't have much confidence. I was just losing confidence in every run. So it then did spiral out of control. So Monday. So I would have liked to have doubled in the evening just to keep that rhythm, but I got back from. I was doing some lab testing in the afternoon. Got back home. Jemima had Nye since preschool had finished, and he'd been in a bad mood all day, and I didn't feel like I could then go. Yeah, I'm going to go out for a jog if that's all right. And I've also just come off the best test of my life, so at this point I don't care. It was like that session like the Friday before. I'm just. You're in great shape. So you think, right, I'm done. Doesn't matter. I don't need to go and do jog for 30 minutes. That's fine. But I did add a bit more on Saturday. So did 70 minutes, 408 a K. Actually felt all right on this one. And it was funny. I feel like people actually do listen to our podcast. It's quite weird when it connects with the real world, because it's always a bit of an abstract. We have a chat on a Tuesday night, and then you realize that people do actually listen, which is nice, because I ran past someone on the canal by my house, and he goes, "Oh, I'm actually listening to you right now," as I ran past him. So that was quite funny. Like, that's the first time that's happened, but someone was literally listening to their podcast, our podcast, whilst we were running along. I didn't catch his name, I'm afraid, but if you're listening and you were running along the Riska Canal on Saturday the 29th at about 11 in the morning, yeah, thanks for the shout out.
That's class.
Yeah, it was cool. That picked me up, and that's probably why I ran a little bit. It's one of the reasons why I ran a little bit faster. I think I was still on a bit of a high from a test yesterday, and yeah, just was feeling pretty good. And then Sunday, we had to go off. We were going off to a birthday party of one of Nye's friends in Brecon, so I had to be done reasonably early. So got up, left at 7:20, and I've had a bit of back pain that I've sort of been managing this week, but I think it's been aggravated by the lab running at 21k an hour on the treadmill on the Friday, and then also we decided this was going to be the weekend where I was going to teach Nye how to ride a pedal bike, which, if you're not familiar, that basically means I'm running alongside him, holding the bike at a 90-degree angle with my back, trying to make sure he doesn't like completely smack his head in the tarmac. And yeah, I think a combination of that and the treadmill run, my back was pretty sore, which was bothering me. Yeah,
can he ride the bike? Has he achieved it?
No, he thinks he can, but he can't. I'm holding it the whole time, which is very cute. He's great on his balance bike, but he's getting there. But it's not a complete freewheel hub, in that if you pedal backwards slightly, it breaks, which I didn't realize. And that's because he's not quite got the idea of you need to pedal clockwise. He just starts pedaling and then basically puts a handbrake on and comes to a massive like jerk stop, which he thought was quite funny, but not ideal I couldn't just let him go like down a hill or anything, because he would then just accidentally pedal backwards and just like stack it
over the handlebars on the floor.
Yeah, on the floor, which I think the most important thing is making sure he enjoys it, because then he'll keep doing it. I don't want to give him a bad experience now, because then he won't want to go out and practice. So he enjoyed it, which was good, and he is getting there, but I just need to take him out more often. But that's going to happen after Valencia now, I think, because my back didn't agree with it at all. So yeah, back was a bit sore, felt tired, felt like I had a sore throat again. Wanted to keep a reasonable volume in there, because I think the week before last year I did 30k at a pretty decent pace, and I was again trying to go for that 20% less on this run. Got through it, did 25k, 423 a k, an hour 49. I think heart rate was quite high for the pace. Was it? Let's have a look. Not really. It was 115 beats per minute, so it was pretty good. I just felt naff. And yeah, ended up with 155k for the week, which was was just over 20% less, like 22% or something like that. And I think the year before I did 149k, that, because obviously I'm in the point now, I'm comparing every single run and session and whatever it is to what I did last year, just looking for confidence. But yeah, 155k for a week. Did feel like I hadn't done anything, to be fair. Although I've just been moaning to you guys for like 10 minutes, 20 minutes of how crap I felt. It didn't feel like I'd been out there for 11 hours because, well, I've been doing 13, 14 hours before. It did feel like quite a drop down. So yeah, 1 week to go with mixes of highs and lows and feeling good and not feeling good. And that's just the taper, I think, isn't it? That's just the taper.
Get to the start line. It'll be all right on the day.
Do we
with
oh, no, go ahead, Jen.
with your, so you said like before the treadmill you did the currents and everything, and you take 4 in the morning. So if I do that before a session, I don't take 2 again in the evening. Do you?
No, I've only take 1 per day. Yeah, 1 dose per day.
Yeah. So you do like 2 every day, and then you do 4 before your session, but then you don't take 2 in the evening.
No,
as well.
no.
Yeah.
No,
okay.
I've just been taking 1 a day. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. And actually, like, if you have, like, we've recorded with Dr. Sam Shepherd, if you haven't already seen that, and he is exercise, what is he? Lead sports scientist for precision fuel and hydration, but also is from academia, is a like sports nutritionist, sports physiologist, nutritionist, and has done work on this with currents and looking at the effects on fat oxidation rates. And actually, like, in the episode, he's just had a paper released, and it improves muscle glycogen replenishment. Is that how you describe it, Owain?
Yeah, it's. I think they still weren't clear. The group that took Currans had higher levels of muscle glycogen at the start of the bout of exercise, and I think one of the points we talked through of him was like how tightly controlled their carbohydrate intake was before. Like, you know, we're obviously going to say go back and listen, but he talks about it like they did a carbohydrate depletion bout, which, as we said, sounds disgusting. You know, like imagine like doing something until you crash, like you're out of energy. The sort of once or twice a year that happens to you, it's horrible, isn't it? And you're like, I'm not letting that happen again. And imagine going into it knowing that's going to be the end result. And then they feed them precise amounts of carbs for 2 days after, day and a half, 2 days.
Yeah,
so
2 days.
They should be they should be starting with the exact same levels of carbohydrates in their like muscle and liver. And the group that was taking currents had higher levels of muscle carbohydrate or muscle glycogen levels. So
they biopsied them and looked at the muscle glycogen levels, and they weren't, they were significantly high. It was like 20% higher or something like that. That's like what they've proposed as a mechanism, isn't it, for muscle recovery and just recovery from exercise and the ability to put out like good training blocks, in that you're just better at maintaining muscle glycogen levels, which is relevant for the training. But also I'm thinking about it now going into Valencia, thinking, well, I'm going to take this all week because if it boosts my muscle glycogen a bit more, then fantastic.
Yeah, like I mean, I've been taking it the whole sort of 12 weeks, and I've sort of said to both of you, I can't tell the difference, but I'm an N of 1 and I don't have a comparison. But yeah, maybe that's part of what's enabled me to run like a lot more mileage, which we'll sort of come on to when we do the training block wrap up. And yeah, for this week, like, yeah, packing my bag today, like making sure there's currants in the bag. And I'm like, I was fairly mindful of it before, but it's like, I'm like, you know, to the point where I might start setting an alarm to take 2 a day for the next few days to make sure, just because that seems like, you know, as Sam said, it's a small, it's very, very well controlled study. It is a small N, but that's quite an interesting finding that they weren't going for, but they found. So I think it's relevant, like for what we're doing at the weekend. And
for something something that's so easy to do, isn't it? Like, it just takes 30 seconds of your day. You could get a possible performance gain. Like, same as like having the caffeine, putting the shoes on, wearing the kit, like all the things that give you like the marginal gains. Add up over.
I mean, we had this conversation with Sam, didn't we? But actually, unlike some things like bicarb, there's obvious side effects and downsides to taking bicarb, which I've experienced myself in. But you might find yourself either thrown up or stuff coming out the other end mid race, which is not what you want. Whereas like the current stuff is pretty innocuous in that actually. He said they'd had no reports of any side effects from anybody, and he's done quite a few research studies using the that nutritional intervention. And then it's just, why not take it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Especially like powered me through my training block. Done it for the last however many weeks. I ain't changing anything this week.
So are we going to share our thoughts of what we're planning to do the week of, or what were you going to say, Owain?
I was gonna ask that, and I was gonna say, do we want to talk about kit? But why don't we do it in both? What we've got the next week, and then what kit we're wearing for the race, and what gels and nutrition we're maybe planning to do, and then when we don't do that, someone can clip it.
Call us out.
You starting us off then, Owain?
Yeah, I'll start. Yeah, so running wise, it's down to like 50 minutes on Monday. Today is Tuesday, sorry, when we're recording. I did 4x5 minutes on the treadmill. It was a convenience thing. Like, to be honest, I couldn't be bothered to run to the Taft to do 5-minute reps, like 4 5-minute reps. So yeah, convenience thing. But I think it also helped because then I really wasn't like thinking like, oh, what pace am I doing? What's my heart rate? Like, it's just on the treadmill. The heart rate is roughly where I want it to be. And then tomorrow 50 minutes, and then it'll be like 40 30 20, I think, or 30 20, something like that. 20 minutes the day before. And then race kit, probably club vest and sore shorts, and then I've got Metaspeed Skies. Is my plan. And then carbs wise, I'm maybe not as strict as Jen. Like, you're taking them every 20 minutes on the long run, whereas I'm a bit more vibes. But I mean, I haven't. I've got the 30-gram precision gels and the 90 grams in my bag, and I still haven't decided which ones I'm going to use on the day. But I'll aim for at least like 90 grams. Like, I maybe put a bit more weight in the carb load than the on the day gel intake. So even though I've done higher grams per hour in training, sort of, I feel like that's so you can then actually dial it back a bit on the race. That will be I'll aim for 90, see how it goes. That would be the plan. We'll see how it goes, though.
So the guy who's been the most on it in terms of carbs in every session is going, now
vibing.
I've done all that in the training, I'm just going to vibe it, and I'm just going to knock it back, and actually I'm only going to take on 40 grams an hour because
no, it won't be 40. No. It will. It's as much as anything, I haven't had the mental capacity to think through the plan yet. But I'll do something like, every 6K maybe do a gel. If I take the 30s and then the 90s, I don't know. That's why I do the 30s, right? Because you know what you're getting. Either every 6. It's K markers there, isn't it? Because London was miles, I think. So I did every 4 miles.
It's not, you'll be in it for a shock if you expect miles. Yeah.
So maybe every 6K I'll do a gel will be the plan. But I haven't completely thought that bit through yet. But that's the rough plan. Yeah.
Pacing strategy.
Yeah, again, I haven't thought about it.
Jen's just got it on a loop in her head all week.
I would say this is some of the stress because I'm like, I wish I had the mental capacity to think about this. But maybe I don't. Maybe I don't want to open that can of worms.
That's what the flight over's for, isn't it? That's what the flight's over for.
I'm planning.
I've heard that the Portaloo stop before the Portaloo visit before you start a race. That's when you plan it out, isn't it? That's what I heard. You go, so what am I actually doing this morning?
I think like we said before, I think somewhere around like 76 minutes for halfway sets me up well. In terms of it's not optimistically too fast, but it gives me the scope to finish or run the second half faster, I think. I would rather have like quite a, I say this now, I'd rather have like quite a big negative split than a slightly positive split, even if they ended up in the same time. I think that's just a better way to run. Like I'm all about like 30, 31, 32K, like really pushing the last 10K. Even if you don't necessarily see like a big pace change, like
328K pace, sticks under 230, 212.59.
Yeah. So I don't know. I think 76, but I haven't even looked at how many minutes a K that is. So I don't know yet. I might look at it and be like, oh, that's quite fast. I think, what is that? It's going to be like 3:37. Okay.
It'd be something like that. 36.
Yeah.
That is very doable. That's
Yeah.
very doable.
I'd hope so. I don't know. Like, I guess if you think on paper, like if you split like 3.5, 4 minutes slower than your half PB, like that feels doable. Because what is it? It's always like your half doubled plus 10 minutes is like a rough math and conversion. But then if you convert well, then it's obviously less.
I thought it was like 6
The
minutes.
6. I heard 10, but
Depends
yeah.
how,
So that would
depends
be.
how unready for the marathon you are.
Yeah.
Isn't it?
But that would be. Yeah. So I guess that would be my PB would be like 2:31 conversion. So I don't know. We'll see.
Tell you what, if it's had 10 minutes, my half marathon time I need to be writing, I should be going
Yeah.
for about 60, 61, I think, 60 minutes.
I don't know. That's the plan. Maybe I'll put it on Strava along with a hit list.
Go on, do a hit list. Christian would love it. Tag him in it.
Yeah. I don't know. That's punching him when he's down, isn't it? After the last few races for him. I can talk. I'll put the hit list up after the shakeout because I think we've invited him. So if he shows up,
Yeah.
I'll apologise beforehand. I'll buy him a coffee and then tag him.
Go on then, Jen. What are you gonna wear? We've seen your fashion shoot. You're
I've got my kit already. I've got a Saw crop top, which is like the New York edition, very funky, lots of different colours. The Saw speed shorts, which I didn't realise had a little pocket at the back, which is great for my fueling strategy. I'll come to that in a minute. I've got a on cropped up like underneath the Saw like vest, which has got loads of pockets in for gels. It's the only one I could find online that's A, comfortable, and B, holds enough like gels to get the job done. I'll have the Metaspeed Edge on my feet. Box fresh this morning. I did a 4-mile session in them, so they're good to go. And then just some white crew socks, crew length, to finish off the look. Saw also came today. Dave was very jealous of those ones. So that's what I'll be wearing. Garmin on my right wrist, heart rate monitor, which I won't look at any of that data until afterwards, but it'll be good to have. But I shan't know what's going on during the race. My fueling strategy is a 30-gram gel every 5K.
Sorry, did you say your Garmin on your right wrist?
Yeah, just to confirm. Some people like it on their left, but I like mine on my right. I'm giving the full the girls that listen to this will want the full details. Some of the guys maybe too, but definitely the girls.
But why'd you wear it on your right wrist? You're not left-handed, are you? Are you?
No, but I used to have it on my left wrist, but I was fed up with the tan line, so I swapped them over and never swapped them back. Quite like it on my right wrist.
Right's on the outside of the track when you do sessions, isn't it? So you get a better average pace.
Yeah. For all those track sessions I do as well.
Back in the day.
Yeah, back in the day. So everyone knows where my Garmin placement is, but that's important. Haven't quite decided how I'm going to do my hair yet, but I'll leave that to the day. Fueling strategy is a 30-gram gel every 5K. The second one and the fourth or the fifth will be a caffeine gel, which will go in my back pocket on my Saw shorts. The rest will go in my crop top. I also think I'll take a gel on the start line before I start. And then I might not bother at 40K. It depends how much of a bucket I'm in and whether I actually have the facilities to take one on or if I feel like I need it. But up until that point, one every 5K. I think it breaks it up as well. Like even in training, like taking gel in every single one of the reps I've done, it's like giving me something to look forward to. So for me, that's the plan. I'll definitely like take on like even if it's just a sip or 2 sips of water at every station I can access one at, depending on whereabouts I am amongst other bodies, just to kind of keep on top of that, especially in the first half. And I'll do electrolyte drink beforehand as well. So that's my fueling strategy. Carb load 2 days from 2 days out too. And I'll try to aim for like about 600 grams of carbs a day. which is about 12 grams per kilo body weight. That's the plan.
She's going big. She can't wait for jelly babies.
Oh yeah,
she can't wait for jelly babies.
So that's the plan. As for the pacing strategy, I think like I obviously I want to. I think training indicates that if I go through halfway in 75 minutes, there shouldn't be a catastrophic blow up. That's the hope. Like all the training I've done has been like 332, 333 a K. And it's felt pretty controlled. My heart rate's been where I expect it to be and stable. So I'm looking for like 1740 to 1745 for every 5K. Pretty much, hopefully. I think if I run the first 5K a little bit slower, that'll be good for me, rather than a little bit too quick. And then, like Owain, once I get to 32K and I see 10K to go, if I'm still in a state of okayness, I'll try and increase like the effort. I think rather than trying to think, like look at the pace and see I'm increasing that, just try and like increase the effort I can kind of put into the running at that point. But ideally I just want to enjoy it and execute it in like a way that gives me like a lot to learn and a positive experience. So I want to come back and do another one. Because never run anything further than a half marathon at race pace. So I honestly have nothing to compare to and like no idea of what it's going to feel like. I could be judging this and getting it completely wrong at this point and being way too ambitious or not ambitious enough, but we'll find out.
You can tell she's been thinking about this for 6 weeks. I can't you?
Yeah,
she's thought about it more than I have.
Oh yeah,
I'm on the same. I'm closer to you, I think, Owain, in terms of mental capacity to think about this sort of stuff. But I'll give it a bit of a go in terms of what I'm planning for the next week and what race day looks like. But yeah, I'm opting to do my last session on the Wednesday, which is what I normally do. I quite like. I wouldn't normally go like 4 days without doing a session. So if I go Wednesday, then I've got Thursday, Friday, Saturday jogging, race Sunday. So I think last year I did 15 times 400 off 30 seconds rest and ran it in like 71, 72s. So I'm either going to do that or, inspired by Jen and Dave this morning, I might do like 3K marathon pace and then maybe add a few 400s at the end.
I only did 90-second reps this morning because I didn't want to accidentally run a 72-second 400. So I thought if I can't measure the distance, it doesn't matter. Yeah.
So I might head to the track and do that. I also, which is maybe a bit of a risk, haven't actually worn my Metaspeed Skies outside yet. So it's quite nice to see what they feel like in contact with tarmac. But I think they're very safe shoes. But I can't really tell the difference between the Edge and the Sky, and I've done loads of running in the Edge. So, and I ran in the Sky version last year and I've worn that load, so I'm not too concerned about that. So yeah, last session will be that, and then just slowly dropping down the volume. Transition to singles probably from the Thursday onwards, and nice little shakeout on Saturday. Couple of strides, 30. I like a couple of 30-second strides at like marathon pace, so like not even fast.
Do you
like
anything like a 3-minute sort of, I say effort rep the day before?
No, I tend to just do like 2 by 30 seconds off 90-second jog is what I've done historically. I don't think it matters.
No, I think it's like what makes you feel good. I like to do like 2 to 3 minutes of like race effort and then to like some faster strides. I'm coming from the track.
Pre-race, isn't it? Pre-race. What do they call it?
Pre-meet.
Pre-meet. Yeah. Bloody hell, I don't understand that word. Carb load obviously Saturday, aiming loosely for 10 grams per kilo of body weight, and I'm less. I try and be a bit. I try and write all this down, but it never happens because, the problem is as soon as you go out and eat somewhere out, you've lost track of what you've taken in, and I'll probably be going for what's worked for me the last two times I've been to Valencia is seafood paella the night before with 1 shot of limoncello. That has been the secret recipe to
How
finish.
did that start in the first place? Like, you just thought limoncello's the way to go the night before a marathon. Let's have some.
It started because the restaurant we went to, they were after reviews, and they said, if you give us a review, we'll give you a shot of limoncello.
And you thought, class, let's go for this.
And I thought, you know what? I like limoncello. I will go for a shot of that and run a PB the next day. So last year, we went back to the same restaurant, had the same dinner, and had a shot of limoncello afterwards. I fully intend to go back to the same restaurant again and have my limoncello shot and run another PB.
Have you checked it still exists, the restaurant?
Oh, I hope so. I haven't yet, but I hope so.
Could you imagine you turn up and it's just, an empty building?
I know. No, we booked every time. So I'll know before we get there. So yeah, that'll be my Saturday, and then Sunday. I always pace using. Well, for the last 5 or 6 marathons, I've always used this heart rate approach. We did a whole episode on that, didn't we? Yeah. January, February last year, was it? Which you can go and look it up in the in our past episodes. But I've followed this approach of just going for keeping heart rate under a certain number up to 5k, 10k, 15k, 20k, 25k. And then when you get to 30k, it's pretty much just run as hard as you can to the finish, like you guys were saying. And that served me pretty well in the past. And it's nice in that, I now have got enough confidence in it that whatever paces I'm averaging by 10k, I know if I'm on for a good day, a great day, or maybe not so good day. But at the same time, people will get pissed off with me because they say, what pace are you going out at? And I sort of just go, I don't know. It's going to see what my heart rate's doing. And you've got to have an idea in the first 5k because heart rate is obviously getting up, and it's not going to be a steady state straight away. And looking at that, what shape am I in? I don't know. It's looking slightly warmer than maybe optimal, but you also don't want to be too confident and put something out there and then you run something really bad. That's what I'm sort of feeling like. But I feel like
come on, I could run 3 hours. I've just said I want to go for halfway in 75 minutes.
Yeah, I've got so much data to work with. All the sessions that I'm doing, I pretty much did the same last year. My lab test data, everything's indicating to me that I could have a bad day and still, well, not a bad day, but I could have an average day and still run 210, I think, 210 high. So a great day, maybe like 209.29 is on the cards. So I'm setting that as like a hard cap for the pace for the first 5k, and then which is 3 or 4s. But obviously, if that's feeling like too hot, I'm not going to go chasing it blindly. I'm not going to go do a Jake Barraclough and go lock into 3 or 4s and just hold on for as long as I can. I will follow my heart rate strategy, but with the hope that it's somewhere in that 305, 304 k pace. Or 306 gets you 210. 305s is basically 210 flat. 304s is 209.30. So I think it's there or thereabouts based on what I've done. But we will see. And I would like to negative split ideally. So I'm also going, right, if I want to run 209.30, then I probably need to be pretty close to 65 low for halfway to give myself a shot of doing that. But it's if I come away with a PB, I'll be delighted. So we will see what happens. I'll go listen to your predictions now and see what you think I'm going to run.
Should we we'll drop off for a second and people can hear our predictions for each other, and then we'll be back.
Okay, so my prediction for the marathon is Nashi is going to have an absolute cracker, but he's going to be agonisingly close to that 210 barrier. He's going to run 210.01, and he's going to wish he wore the Pumas, because forget what science says, he would gain those extra 2 seconds just by bouncing over the line. Owain, he's going to put us all to shame with some banging negative splits. He's going to go out just under 76 minutes. He's going to come back just over 74, and he's going to run 2:29.58. The only thing that could let him down is his fear of taking on gels at marathon pace. So if you see any float during the race, you'll know why. But yeah, good luck, boys. It's been great being on this journey with you, and I can't wait to see how you do.
Hey, this is Owain with my Valencia predictions. So we'll start with Jen, Sunday training partner Jen. I'm going to say, 2:29.59 for Jen. She's done a bunch of sessions at that pace. I think she's probably bricking it a bit, but I reckon a good run for Jen. It just needs to be controlled through the first half and go from there. But yeah, that's what I say for Jen. And then Dan, I don't know if it's a cop-out going for 59 seconds, but let's be optimistic and say 2:09.59. I reckon he might get himself in that 2:09.30 pace group to start. And, I reckon that's maybe a little bit spicy. But he's got his... Well, I don't know, actually, at the time of recording, I don't know what shoes he's going to wear still. But they will have been tested. He reckons he's in shape. The numbers say he's in shape. So, it'll be a 2:09 man in 5 days' time from recording. Yeah, those are my picks.
So what do I think Owain and Jen can run at Valencia Marathon? So let's start with Jen. I think Jen is in the perfect position in that she's put together the training block of her life, but is also petrified of a marathon. So she's got the fitness, but she's also not going to go out too fast because she thinks a marathon is a long, long way. So I think she's going to go out very sensibly, 75.30 through halfway, but come back really strong, end up with a 2:29.05 finishing time. So she's really going to pick it up. Maybe could have been a bit more aggressive in the start, in the early stages of the race, but it's going to finish really strong, come out with a great time, really great debut. Owain, fantastic half marathon in the build-up. That's the equivalent to like a 2:32. I think he's going to convert better in Valencia because it's a faster course. He's done some great training, and he's managed to stick with Jen for pretty much every session. And the ones I've witnessed, he's working a little bit harder. You can just hear it in the breathing. But I think he's on for really good PB. So he's going to smash his PB. He's going to run 2:31.45. That's my prediction. So you've just heard our predictions for each other. We haven't listened to them. I don't know if I'll be able to hold out before. I think the idea was listen to them once we've done the marathon. I'm not sure if I've got the restraint to go and do that. I might literally go and listen to them now. But
you have to just wait till the episode comes out tomorrow.
I could go onto WhatsApp and just listen to it. I sent mine directly to Owain instead of into the group
I can't
chat,
see
it. Just to keep it from you, Jen. So I was so mean to you.
Nasty. That's nasty.
But yeah, I think all is left to say is thank you so much for following along on the journey. Honestly, we've been blown away by the amount of messages we've received, and actually just the listens to the episode as well. These Road 2 series have got really predictable, start off great listenership and then drops off a little bit. And if you have a good run, that post debrief one tends to get a good views, but it's just been super consistent the whole way through. And I hope you found it interesting, and thank you for following along on the journey. Anyone who's running, including all of our athletes, good luck.
Yeah.
My guys, as I said at the start, I'm really confident in all of you. So have a great race. Enjoy it. And what else is there to say?
If you're on the course, say hello. Chuck us in the tracker.
Yeah.
See if one of us can be on that. They post the top 10 most tracked athletes list, don't they? So
see
if one of us can make it in there.
We need everyone listening. Get us on the tracker.
Our competition's gone because Christian from Norway was third at Valencia half. So maybe all of his Norwegian fans can and Australian fans can support one of us. Yeah. But yeah. I guess if you're out on the course, say hello. Hopefully we're
Give
not
us a
looking too
shout.
bad.
Yeah.
Shout something
Sorry
funny.
sorry if you get no interaction like in
Yeah.
return, but I will have heard it and I would have processed it, I promise.
I'll be going around every corner expecting someone to shout something about getting dropped.
Honestly, I wish I was watching it. I wouldn't pass the opportunity to race it because I feel thing up for it and ready to go. But it's going to be a great race. So many people in it. So many top Brits, top internationals. It's going to be good. It's going to be good.
Yeah.
Absolutely. Have to watch it back. Have to watch it back on the stream, like hungover on Monday or something.
Sunday night, surely.
Yeah, that's true. I'll be in bed by 6 p.m.
I think it will be on a few phones.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah. I guess see you guys out there.
See you out there.
Yeah.
Yeah, good luck.
See you out there.
Yeah. Enjoy it. Like, I think that's one thing I've told everyone is like, remember like to enjoy it as well, as much as you can. Like
you too, Jen.
Yeah. Yeah, I'm really good at handing out the advice, but taking it on board,
Yeah. And just, if you're racing, don't go out too fast. You can always pick it up. Don't be forced to slow down. Right? That's what I've been telling my athletes all week. You can always pick it up. Pick it up.
Try nothing
Don't go out
new
too
on the
fast.
morning. Don't practice some new Spanish food that you thought looked interesting in the supermarket. Stick
Seafood
to what you
paella
know.
all the way. Yeah, do it.
Shot of limoncello, that's fine on Saturday night. Anything else, no.
It's barely a unit. And one shot of limoncello. It's pretty much just lemon juice. So. This is all unraveling.
Yeah.
Let's leave it there.
Catch you guys next week.
Bye.